Hi, Shel Brodnax with Real Estate Staging Association. I'm here with Egypt Sherrod of HGTV's Property Virgins and Flipping Virgins. Egypt, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Flipping Virgins always sounds a little dirty, doesn't it?
A little bit, but I like it. And actually, let's tell us about the premise of that show.
Sure. Well, Flipping Virgins is exactly what it is, what it sounds like. First-time flippers. And I started flipping houses. That's how I got into real estate many moons ago. And I said, you know, I would really like to do a show holistic to my story, and that would be a great graduation from Property Virgins. You know, it was in its 16th season. It's time, let's do something else. You know, I'd like to show people how I started renovating houses, the proper way to do it, that there really is a science, a formula to successfully flipping houses. And that's what you get to see on Flipping Virgins. We just found out that we're greenlit, so we're going back into production.
I'm so excited about that.
No one could be more excited than me.
And you know, let's talk about flipping, because a lot
Sure.
of times when I do business coaching with home stagers, we talk about that ideal team, a collaborative effort, and I use the analogies of, if you watch those HGTV shows, that where you have a flipper who they've got the investor in on the property, and that investor works with the home stager, and they have the same real estate agent, and they have their lender. How does that pertain to what it is that you're doing as far as the show is concerned? Is it a big collaborative effort in general, or is it, do you think it's okay for flippers or business investors to just do onesies and twosies with people, or is it better to have the collaboration?
I think a little bit of both, you know, and it really depends on the person, you know, and what your overall goal is. Is it short term? Is it long term? You know, you have people who really, they just do it as a hobby, and they only want to do one-offs or two-offs or one a year, et cetera. And it's hard to keep a team together if you're not constantly grinding together, right? So, so in which case, if that's your goal, more short-term, hobbyist, then, you know, definitely that's fine. But if you're someone who's making a career out of flipping and you want to build a team, there is no I in team. Right? Teamwork makes the dream work. Not to sound cliche, but there no truer words have ever been spoken. So in which case, it really is a collaborative effort where everyone is bringing something to the table for the successful end project. And you know, I find that when I go into everything, not just flipping, but business across the board, with an attitude of teamwork, that it's all of us. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and Rome definitely wasn't built by one person, right? So it takes a little bit of everybody, their expertise and their specialization to make a really magical thing happen.
Absolutely. So I know you've been a real estate agent for 16 years?
No, I've been in real estate for 16 years. I've been an agent for about 14 years.
About 14 years.
I started flipping, you know, so I started that about 16 years ago before I decided to become an agent.
I know you're a proponent of home staging.
I am.
Tell me what you think about home staging.
I think we're in an environment now, we're in the business now where home staging is a necessity. It really is. You have a lot of homes that are vacant, they're putting them on the market, and they sit. Why? Because the average person they don't look at it creatively. They can't necessarily, the average buyer, figure out how a room will work unless you show them. And so homes are selling 4 times faster when they're staged. If I take a listing, part of my listing presentation is, especially if it's vacant or if it's a home that's cluttered or just needs that extra love, you know, when you have people who are shopping for homes and 97% of people are buying homes after watching after seeing it online first, and then they call an agent. They're shopping for homes online. Pictures say 1,000 words. So if the pictures are going to sell the home, they have to be the absolute best. And the only way to do that is with proper staging and great photography. They go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. We teach that to stagers all the time. I can't express enough about a property. It's a product. It's the #1 asset in somebody's portfolio. And yet people spend more money fixing their car up to put it on a Craigslist, right?
I heard you say that.
It's
and
crazy.
You know what? You're kind of right.
It's like, why would you do that? You're going to spend a couple $100 to sell a $600 car on Craigslist. It doesn't make any sense, but you don't want to make the investment in staging.
I think that has to be frustrating for a lot of stagers, right? For the whole business, because some people just don't get it. And I'm talking about homeowners and realtors. They don't see the value in it. I see the value, you know, all the time. Staging helps sell my listings, hand over fist, like that. But a lot of buyers think, what's wrong with my house? What's wrong with the way I decorated I don't get it. And so you have to show them, you have to tell them, and the proof is in the pudding. It's in the stats.
So what would you recommend to a home stager that's trying to get it across to the agent that doesn't get it? And then why do you think agents don't get it? It's kind of a twofold question.
I think some people just don't want to get it because a lot of agents are fighting for commission. There's a lot of competition, number one, so they're fighting to get the listing, and they're sometimes willing to sell their soul to get the listing, unfortunately. And then you have those who aren't able to get full commission, so the client barely wants to pay commission. It's all about money at the end of the day. Someone selling their home wants to keep as much as possible or make as much as possible off of their property, and some agents are afraid to tell and show their clients how they can do that and the proper way to sell your home. And to me, the proper way to sell it is to put your best foot forward. You never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Absolutely.
And the reality is most homes sell within the first 2 weeks. You're going to get most of your showings in the first 2 weeks. After that, the listing starts to get stale. So if your home's not showing at its fullest potential in the first 2 weeks, you've shot yourself in the foot. You're going to have to do a price reduction anyway. But a lot of agents are afraid to talk like this to their clients. And what my clients know is I give them tough love, but with a hug. I love you. It's my job to sell your house. So let me tell you, let me do my job that you hired me to do.
Because it doesn't do you any good to lie to them about something.
Sure.
It's your job to get them top dollar, and your fiduciary responsibility. You got to tell them everything that they can do to sell their home.
Because if it doesn't sell, who are they going to look at the end of the day? They're looking at you. So what I recommend for stagers, because that was your initial question, is how do we get people to see the big picture? How do we show them? And statistics are on your side. The National Association of Realtors has put it out there, time and time again. So the proof's in the pudding. All you have to do is pull the stats and know the stats. Understand your value proposition, how you fit into the big picture of the industry, and know that you're a vital part of the real estate industry, and then be able to give that spiel to realtors. And many realtors want someone who's going to make their job easier.
Absolutely.
So if you can convince them and show them, here it is. I can sell your homes faster. Staging pays for itself. Here are homes that were staged, that weren't staged, and here are ones that were staged. Here are the ones that sat on the market for a month in the same community. Here's one that was staged that sat on the market for 2 days with multiple offers. The proof's in the pudding.
Absolutely. And you said it earlier about professional photos. The proof is in the pudding. Show them the photos. What do you want your homeowners, what do you want your house to look like online? This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
I always recommend to agents too, take pictures of the house and look at it on your computer.
Sure.
Because that's what somebody else is going to be looking at. And if it's not staged and the photos are not amazing, you're missing the mark.
And the best thing I think a stager can do is be a part of the team. So you are a brand within your own business, or if you work for a staging company, you're the brand within the brand. But you want to create partnerships, mutual partnerships with realtors, because they're going to sing your praises. They're going to include your materials in their listing presentations, right? So have the meetings with the realtors up front, show them how you can bring value to their business, and let them market your services as a part of their business.
Right.
Added value for the client.
Absolutely.